Hi, I'm Gary LaRue of Microwave Journal. Welcome to another episode of Eye on IMS as we look forward to this year's International Microwave Symposium in Denver. In this episode, we have the opportunity to learn about a fun hidden transmitter hunt at IMS. Here to tell us about it are Rick Campbell and Anna Regani. Thank you both for joining me.
Yeah, thanks for inviting us.
Thank you. Yeah, glad to be here.
Well, let's start off. First, tell us a little bit about your professional roles and how you are involved with this year's IMS.
Well, I'll start. I've been involved with IMS for years and years and years. This year, I'm on the local steering committee and technical program review committee, and they invited me to organize a ham radio social, and I said, "Oh, that's like the most fun event possible." So I was really excited about that. So that's kind of my role this year, and I'm a faculty member at Portland State University.
And I'm an artist and have my ham radio license and was asked to be involved. It kind of came about naturally. Rick and his students, Nicole and Kelly, needed a place to do some experiments, and I live on a farm, and it was the perfect location, especially during COVID, to get together and have a lot of distance between us and run some field experiments. And so that was kind of the jumping off point for me, where I was like, this is awesome and so fun, and these girls are incredible people, and I want to be involved. And so it kind of snowballed from there. And yeah, really happy to be a part of it.
Yeah, it was really cool. I had organized things, but just watching these three women work together, I was able to step back and just let them take off. And it was so interesting having two engineers and an artist working together. And I really think that's kind of the wave of the future, just bringing in all different disciplines and doing the cross-disciplinary thing.
Well, that sounds like a very creative process. I think most of us have heard of amateur radio or ham radio, but we're probably not as familiar with all that it encompasses unless we're directly involved with it. So, what would you say is your elevator speech for ham radio?
Well, ham radio is a lot of things. It is a way to communicate using electromagnetic frequencies within a given range. And it is, more importantly, a way to connect globally with people that you would never otherwise be able to connect with, people of all walks of life with different interests. And it, it really unites the world in a really unique way.
And for this particular IMS community, your amateur radio license allows you to design and build and use transmitters on the air, experiment, and it's the only radio service that really allows you to do that. So it's a great way to set up the home lab and do experiments using equipment that you've designed and are modifying yourself. I really enjoy it for that.
So, for IMS this year, you've planned a fun new element, the hidden transmitter hunt. Tell us about that and how it came to be.
Well, 2 years ago in San Antonio at Radio Wireless Week 2020, I was involved in a young professionals event that had a hidden transmitter hunt. And I came back from that and told a few of my students about it. And two of them, Nicole Fellows and Kelly Dickens, said, "Oh, wow, that is so cool." And they needed senior projects. So I worked with them and they defined some senior projects to do. And the senior projects worked so well that by spring we said, okay, we need to find a place to go out in the field and test these things. And Anna offered the use of her farm. And so I took the two girls up to Anna's farm and they did hidden transmitter hunt things all afternoon and had so much fun that that's when the idea came. Oh, this is so much fun. We need to do this for IMS 2022 in Denver at the Ham Radio Social.
I was just going to show some of our gear. This is the 432 megahertz handheld radio antenna that we'll be using at the transmitter hunt. Super compact and easy to use, and it actually all breaks down to fit in to the tube itself, which is super fun. And so yeah, it will be a really great way to all get together in person and experiment and challenge each other and have a little fun competition.
And here's one of the little hidden transmitters, and you can see it's really small. We'll be able to hide these a couple different places. We plan to have 3 of these hidden different places, one of them pretty easy to find, one of them not too hard to find, and then one of them a real challenge. And we'll break up into about 10 teams. And each team will have one of the little antenna receivers that Anna just showed. And we'll see how it goes from there. But we've tried it a lot out in the field, and it's so much fun.
That's great. So for someone who wants to participate, how will they register, find you, put it on their calendar?
I'm not sure how we figured that out yet, but the Amateur Radio Social is open to everyone. So you certainly don't have to have a ham radio license. It's Tuesday evening at 7 p.m. And the best way to get yourself into the swing of things is we came up with enough creative new things that the 4 of us wrote a paper, and it was accepted for the symposium. So we have a paper Tuesday afternoon in the interactive forum.
Nice.
So look for our paper Tuesday afternoon in the interactive forum. Come and talk and ask questions and see the equipment. And then Tuesday evening, come out to the Ham Radio Social. It's pretty informal. I think we'll start the meeting by having people form off into little teams of 2 or 3, and that's the way we'll run it.
And I don't have to learn Morse code to get in?
From my point of view, Morse code is like the coolest thing ever. And one of the things that absolutely shocked me is that one of my young students, Nicole Fellow, as soon as she got involved with amateur radio, the first thing she wanted to do was learn Morse code and use it to communicate with other people on the air. And there's still an awful lot of that going on. There are contest weekends when the bands are just packed with people talking to each other via Morse code. So some people just think it's really cool, but you do not have to know Morse code to take your amateur radio license.
Yeah, I do think it's super cool. I love Morse code, and I am still learning. So you do not need to know it to be a part of the hidden transmitter hunt.
Well, back in the day when I was a Boy Scout, I had to learn Morse code. I can't say I was ever proficient at it, but if I were starting again today, it's starting from ground zero. I understand the event is completely organized, and you've sort of intimated at this, and run by women, students, and young professionals. Tell us about that approach.
Well, I'll start by saying, yeah, I kind of said, okay, I'm on the steering committee and I can make the steps to make this happen. But as soon as I watched Anna and Nicole and Kelly working together, I said, wow, I can just step back, let them run it. And we have a half a dozen other women students, a few still students at Portland State University, and 3 recent alumni who have their ham radio licenses who have moved to the Denver area. So we've got this local contingent so I think there will be half a dozen young women running this thing. So that's all I'll say. And it just kind of happened. There are an awful lot of young women that are really bright young people, active, and I think we'll be seeing more and more of that in IMS in the future. But yeah.
Yeah, important to acknowledge the importance of women and young professionals and students getting involved. Often they're an underrepresented group, and to really propel the ham radio and engineering and science forward, we have to include women and young professionals and students, and that's really an important thing. And it's amazing that it's happening organically, and people feel compelled to pursue their dreams and passions, and it's ever more easier. And yeah, me included, it has really been inspiring to work with other women that are so eager and excited about being involved in their profession on a multitude of levels. And so I'm following suit.
Well, it's wonderful to break these stereotypes, and as you say, it's happening organically. That's great. Before we wrap up, anything else that you'd like to add?
I'll say that IMS is this amazing conference. I've been involved for decades, and it's one of my premier events in the world. But we're all very serious, and we take each other too seriously, and we take our technical contributions too seriously. And and this ham radio social and the other activities, this is a way to really let our hair down and get to know each other and work on some fun problems. You know, finding a hidden transmitter. It really opens things up and lets us interact with each other as interesting people. And so I'm really looking forward to it for that.
Yeah, I'm so excited to take part in the IMS 2022 in Denver. And this has been such a fun couple of years building up to this point. And so I can't wait to meet all of the people that are going to be attending and just have my eyes open a whole lot wider to all that is the IEEE. And of course, as the daughter of Dr. Campbell here, I've heard about it my whole life. And so finally to take part myself is really special. And I'm really looking forward to sharing that with my dad.
Yeah, and looking forward, microwaves is now a mature field. And in mature fields, often the engineering becomes as much art and science. And I'm really happy to see Intel has added an A to STEAM. So it's not STEM anymore, it's STEAM. They've added art in. And for me to help bring a professional artist into the IMS community, that may be my biggest contribution this year.
That's wonderful. Well, thank you, Rick and Anna, for giving us a preview of the hidden transmitter hunt at this year's IMS.
Thank you for asking us.
Yeah, thank you so much. This has been great.
And I look forward to joining you Tuesday evening. IMS will be held in person in Denver from June 19th through the 24th. You can view the technical program and register at the website ims-ieee.org. And watch for future Eye on IMS episodes as we count down the months until we gather in Denver for the 2022 International Microwave Symposium.